Information in our show notes so our listeners can find out all about how to find you.
Well, Lauren, thank you so much for connecting with us today. We really enjoyed this book. It was well done, and we cannot wait to read your next one.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Anne, Tracy, and Kathy. And I've been listening to some of your podcasts, and I really enjoyed them. So you've got a listener out of me now as well. So thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Will you enjoy the rest of your day?
Well, that was an excellent psychological thriller.
Yes, an unreliable narrative if I've ever read one.
I was really impressed with Lauren's insight into grief and the process of grieving and the many different ways it can manifest.
Yes, it was heart-wrenching reading about her story. Anytime you lose somebody, especially somebody that you've built a life with, that it's such a painful thing. Then to have her son taken away from her.
The author shows a lot of promise. She really does. She did an amazing job of writing her characters and the way they interacted with each other, and how Tess was so damaged. All she had was this one little thing to grasp on, and that was Jamie. And to have him disappear, it was just heart-wrenching.
I really liked the way that Lauren presented the book as well. She had a unique way of telling the story that really worked.
It really did, and it was suspenseful almost isn't the word. You kept turning those pages because you had to figure out what was happening for real.
Right. There were some evil characters in this book.
But some of them weren't as evil as you were first led to believe.
I know.
Not everybody always had good intentions when it came to Tess.
Right.
Right.
They had their own interests.
Their own agendas going on.
Which is true of most people.
Yes.
Well, we thank Lauren for her insight.
Very much look forward to her next book.
Yes, we do.
Yes, that sounds very exciting as well. Next up, we have Desmond Ryan. He's here to have a shout out for his latest book.
Desmond was in episode 15. If you'd like to listen to that episode, it introduces us to the Mike O'Shea series. We are going to be talking about his latest called The Man at the Door. Mike O'Shea is recovering from the beating he took. He's on half duty but anxious to return to his job. His wife has left him, and his mother, Mary Margaret O'Shea, has moved herself in to help. Mike is called by Glenn Bribruff to report his best friend, Elizabeth McDonald, missing. He recalls a man answering her door. He hasn't heard from her since then, and he is becoming very worried. Mike agrees to look into the case and finds answers to the case, but also to his own life.
Sounds good.
Welcome, Desmond.
Talk about The Man at the Door.
It's coming out October 16th, which also happens to be my birthday.
Well, happy birthday.
Okay, so I thought, what a great gift. I'll give myself a book. But I thought that would be kind of fun. This, as you know, is the third official book in the Mike O'Shea crime fiction series. It happens right on the heels of Death Before Coffee. So Mike is still recovering from his injuries in Death Before Coffee. He's on light duties, which is a policing term, meaning you're well enough to come back to work, to do administrative things, but not to go back out on the road.
Right.
And so they've assigned Mike the job of following up on missing persons reports with the assumption that nothing would really come of it. But of course, Mike being Mike, something comes of it. We find all about Man at the Door.
It was very, very well done. I really enjoyed it. It was a little bit different because it didn't focus completely on Mike. It was this other woman and her past and her disappearance. In fact, I read it in one sitting because I had to know what was happening.
Wow. Well, that's great. Thank you so much.
Of course, I'm a big fan of Mike. There was a lot more of Mary Margaret in this one, which I was glad to see.
You know, it was funny because when I was writing it, I was actually thinking of you.
Oh, you were?
Yes, and I was thinking, I remember you said you missed Mary Margaret in Death Before Coffee. So I'm writing this and thinking, you're going to love this book then.
Yes, I did. I enjoyed it. The way she came in and took over the house and then she was going to deal with Carmen. I was a little worried that Carmen might be coming back when I saw her turn up. Mary Mary Margaret took care of that.
I suspect that there might have been a moment, had Mary Margaret not been there, that Carmen might have come in. Mike was pretty strong about she's left, she's gone. You never know. As you say, Mary Margaret took care of that.
Yeah, I like the interaction with Mac.
It was a lot more fun to write this book because the characters in 1033 Assist PC, you see them very young, very early on. In Death Before Coffee, they've come into their own, but there wasn't a lot of room to really look at the relationship between Mike and his son. In this book, there was the space to do that. The readers, presumably, they're already familiar with the characters, so you don't have to introduce them and spend so much time saying who they are and how they fit in. And so that time can be spent on developing relationships amongst the characters.
Ron's kind of sad. Are you going to write him out or are you going to let him come back?
He's going to go out for the next book, keeping true to form as a police procedural and trying to keep it as true to police procedures as I can. One of the things about policing is when you leave, they generally don't let you come back. Having said that, I'm thinking that he's still in the neighborhood. He's still around. As you may know, not to be a spoiler alert, but things aren't going so well for Marie. So Ron may have a lot of time on his hands once he retires. And, Mike just may call on Ron to help him out a little on the side. And Ron may take that opportunity.
I'm glad Mike's healing up. Now you got poor Mary Margaret down for the count for a little while.
Well, interesting thing with Mary Margaret. As you may have guessed, the truth is very subjective for Mary Margaret. She took on a life of her own in this book, and I had to really rein her in to keep her from taking over. From this book, after this, she's going to have her own cozy series. The challenge there is the cozy series runs simultaneously with the Mike O'Shea series, and so what happens in one series has to happen in the other.
I see.
I think we will find that Mary Margaret may have stretched the truth as we would know it a little bit about her ankle.
Oh, really? Very interesting.
Yeah, because she might just tell a little bit of a story.
How is that series coming along?
It is so much fun to write. I'm having such a great time. I was a little sidetracked in my progress with it because, as you know, and as some of my readers know, we moved house. That's always a big undertaking, as you know, and some of the readers may know from following me on Twitter. We had a bee infestation. So getting 100,000 bees out of our walls took up about 2.5 weeks and slowed everything down. But I'm still hoping to be on target. I'm debating going traditional publisher or continuing with the indie publishing with the Mary Margarets, and that will dictate the speed at which the Mary Margarets get released. Indie, I'll be obviously following my own lead. If I go traditional, I'll have to answer to someone else.
Well, I'm waiting.
I think you will really enjoy them because unlike Mike, she doesn't have to follow the law.
Right.
And she
can write her own law.
Pretty much, yes. And she pretty much does. And she's quite resourceful. Has a lot of resourceful friends that join her in her books.
Well, good. I can't wait. Of course, I'm looking for the next Mike O'Shea, too. Working on that one.
I've got that one started. In the end of Man at the Door, Ron is on his way out, and someone is on their way in. So the next book, see Mike with a new partner.
Very interesting. Can't wait. I'm always looking for the next Mike O'Shea and looking forward to Mary Margaret.
Well, I think I might end up just even before the Mary Margarets are released, I might just end up slipping you the advanced reader's copy of the Mary Margaret.
Please do. Please do.
I'm very curious to hear what you have to say.
I can't wait. All right. How's Ben doing?
He is doing well.
Liking his new home?
Yes, there's a lot more space here. He's a little bit older, so he's at that running around like a madman phase. He's 3.5 now.
And he's playing soccer already?
Not really. He has a soccer ball. He has kicked it. He doesn't particularly like playing with the other players.
Give him time. Gets him acquainted with the ball, and he'll know what to do with it when he gets a little older.
Exactly.
Well, it was great talking to you, as usual. I can't wait for Mary Margaret.
As soon as I get the draft ready to go. I might just slip it over to you just to have a sneak peek.
Oh, God bless you. All right, Desmond. Thanks for talking with us.
Fantastic.
Okay.
All right.
Bye. We thank Desmond for joining us. We want to make sure that everyone knows about Hallow Read.
We will be attending Hallow Read this year, and we hope that you would consider joining us. It is Hallow Read brings authors and readers together for a hauntingly good time. It will be October 25th and 26th in Ellicott City, Maryland.
If you haven't bought your admission tickets yet, enter the code Dark and Stormy for a 15% off the admission price.
Sounds like a great deal to me.
It does.
And we are really looking forward to seeing all of our readers there.
And for information, go to hallowread.com.
Ellicott City is a wonderful, spooky, historic town in Maryland, and it really should be a great backdrop for the book festival.
Absolutely.
We're looking forward to it. Patreon.
If you enjoy our show, you may consider donating to our Patreon. One thing that people may not know is Patreon starts at just $1. If you think about it, $1 a month, that's $12 a year for all this amazing entertainment.
But it would really help us a lot.
Another way you can donate is to send us a one-time donation through PayPal, if that's more up your speed.
Our PayPal address is darkandstormybookclub@gmail.com.
Any help is very much appreciated.
It takes a lot of money to make this fabulous book club run. Be sure and visit our website at
itwasadarkandstormybookclub.com.
There you can sign up for our newsletter, email us, listen to all our episodes, and
read the show notes.
And don't forget to send in your short story submissions to our email and put short story submission in the reference line. We really want to get someone's short story in our January newsletters. You're running out of time. Come up with a good short story, or you can put one in that has appeared somewhere else.
Go to our website for all the details.
That brings us to the end of the program. We hope you'll join us next time. And remember,
life would be boring without a little mystery. Bye.